Hey everybody, welcome to another test here at Cycle News. We have a very special bike for you today. Today we're going to be riding the all-new 2021 KTM 450 SMR. Now this is KTM's premium supermoto bike. In fact, it is the rebirth of the Supermoto. KTM got rid of their Supermoto range about 6-7 years ago now, and they sort of had their toe in the water with the Husqvarna FS 450. I bought one, love it. So yeah, now KTM's realised that Supermoto's kind of on its way back, which, thank the Lord, it is, in my opinion, probably the best form of motorcycle racing you can get. But yeah, so they've kind of realised that there is still life in the old Supermoto dog yet, and they've bought this brand new bike out, and it is a gem of a thing. So let's get into the tech stuff and then go for a ride. Ordinarily, I would do the tech stuff as a voiceover, but seeing as we're a little late to the Supermoto review party for 2021, I figure we'd just ask Ryan. He knows better than I do.
Sriracha?
Sriracha.
Not
just
sriracha sauce?
Not the hot sauce.
Not hot sauce?
No, I get that a lot
Sriracha?
though.
Okay.
Ryan Sriracha.
Right guys, so I'm here with Ryan Sriracha. Not sriracha, not the hot sauce. No hot sauce.
You got it.
No, head of product management here at KTM North America. Now, this is Ryan's little baby, so can you do us a favor and just tell us, first of all, what are the differences between this and the 450 SX? Then let's talk a little bit about what the Supermoto segment is to KTM.
Yeah, absolutely. So starting out at the heart of the bike, at the base, is the KTM 450 SXF, right? The motocross bike.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a lot of the same features you'd see on that platform. Of course, we have the chromoly steel frame. We have an aluminum subframe. You've got the one-piece aluminum swing arm. Exact suspension front and rear. Bodywork, the ergonomics, a lot of that is the same. With the 450 engine, we have the single overhead cam, incredibly compact, powerful engine. So it shares all of that great stuff.
Yeah.
But then, absolutely, we set it up specifically for Supermoto, so the bike really can go out Supermoto racing right off the showroom floor.
Yeah.
So starting at the front of the bike, we have different triple clamps with a 16mm offset. They're also a little bit wider. Also different brake setup. So we have the Brembo radial master cylinder in the front with the bigger reservoir, pushing more fluid down to the bigger Brembo caliper. And then, of course, we have the bigger
M50 caliper?
I believe.
Yep.
And then we have the bigger Galfer rotor. This is a wave rotor. It's 310mm instead of the 260 that you find on like a 450 SXF.
Yep.
We also have different suspension, just overall pieces, packaging set up for the bike. So we have a shorter travel, 285mm in the front instead of 310, which you get on the SX bike. And then on the rear, it's 266 as opposed to 300.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, of course, 17-inch Alpina wheels instead of the motocross wheels. We have the Excels.
Yep.
It's a 16.5 in the front and a 17 in the rear, and we're running the Bridgestone Supermoto tires. Work fantastic for us.
Yeah, I noticed that when I bought my FS 450 in 2018, it came with Bridgestones as well. You don't see them a lot of the time, but they work really well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you've got dual maps, traction control and launch control. Yeah.
That's right, just like you'd find on the 450 SXF. We have map 1 and map 2. So map 1 is kind of the more standard map. Map 2, much more aggressive. Then, like you said, you've got traction control, you've got launch control in there, so some great features for racing the bike.
Yeah.
Big feature, of course, for Supermoto is the Sutter anti-hopping clutch that we have in there standard. So fantastic clutch. I'm sure you'd notice it riding it all day.
Yeah.
Basically, it allows you to grab an aggressive downshift into a corner instead of having that rear wheel hop on you. You get nice, smooth transitions through the corner.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It works so well.
For sure. And we've got that, of course, made it up to the Brembo hydraulics for the clutch as well.
There's a decent level of aftermarket parts that you can get with this stuff as well, isn't there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So in our technical accessories catalog, there's all kinds of different features that you can put on the bike. Maybe get it set up like Chris Fillmore's. If you want to put in Akrapovic exhaust, different triple clamps, all these things are there for you. Probably the best thing to start adding to would be some protection that you've got. Obviously, we have stock these the hand guards that wouldn't come stock on the 450 SXF. But then we have different sliders, like foot peg sliders that you can add. All that good stuff. Yeah.
So this bike has been out of KTM's lineup now for what, 7-8 years?
Yeah, 2014 I believe was the last year, so 7 years now.
Yeah. So why bring it back now? Because you've got obviously the FS 450 has done so well for Husqvarna, which is KTM. Let's be honest, it's part of the same brand.
It's under the house of brands. Yeah, for sure.
So was it the success of the 450 that KTM went, hang on, we should bring this back, or what was the thinking behind it?
I mean, that's definitely part of it, right? We saw that the FS450 did incredibly well in the market. There was a big demand for it.
Yeah.
FS450 was the only serial production competition Supermoto that you could buy, right? Off the showroom floor, ready to go. So there's a loan in the market, there was demand, and the bike, it had a cult following. People remember, you know, when we first introduced it. They wanted the bike back. Of course, they spoke, we listened.
Yeah.
So by popular demand, it came back into the market.
Yeah.
And people have been really excited about it.
Yeah, they are super amounts of fun. But yeah, thanks, man.
Hey,
cheers.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks. Well, now that he's gone, I will have a bit of a talk about it. It's absolutely so much fun riding Supermoto. I've owned now one for 2.5 years. It's the only bike I own, my FS450, and I love it to death. I love it as much as my firstborn son. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off the tangent here. Back to the bike. It's got so much power. The throttle is really nice and smooth. I ended up running in the second map for most of the day. Like the first map number 1 is a little bit soft, and it sort of ramps up the higher you get. But map number 2 sort of hits a fair bit harder. You know, switch traction control off and things like that. You don't need it on, for me at least. I don't think you need it on these things because it is so smooth, and there's so much grip at a place like where we're at Apex, and from these Bridgestone tires. It would require a little bit of setup to get right. The spring is a little bit soft for me. I'm not actually sure what the spring rate is, but you know, for me, just for example, on my bike, on my 450, I've gone up to spring rates in the rear just to try and help the thing stay up and not truck itself out and understeer away out of corners. But yeah, on top of everything, like, it doesn't come with a quick shifter. I would have liked to see a quick shifter, but that's all good. Braking stability is really, really good. It doesn't have the perfect amount of feel that you would want out of that master cylinder, although it is still very, very good. Once you start riding higher spec brakes, you'll notice the difference, but there's heaps of torque. Rips through the rev range nice and quickly, so you always feel like you're singing the thing, like it's moving. So look, they are a splendid bike, they really are. I'm amazed that Supermoto went away to the degree that it did. If you want to get inspired and you want to see something really cool, go on Google and watch on YouTube the S1 GP guys over in Europe. You want to see how fast you can ride a Supermoto bike, go watch those guys. It's just mind-blowing how quick they can ride. Yeah, a little bit later today, we also got to have a ride on Chris Fillmore's championship winning bike, which will be another video soon. But yeah, guys, they are really, really good fun, these things. So yeah, if you ever get the chance, get out there, have a go. They are enormously good fun.